If you're going to brew beer, the most important thing is sanitation. The beer that I teach to make is the best value on the market. I've brewed 5-gallon kits of delicious ale. It is a cheap substitute for Budweiser. The online store wants you to buy a kit. The kit includes a 6.5-gallon fermenting bucket, grommeted lid, airlock, 6.5-gallon bottling bucket, bottling spigot, bottle filler, bottle tubing, siphon tubing, thermometer, hydrometer, bottle capper, and cleaner and sanitizer. However, if you are more skilled, you do not need all these things. The hydrometer, for instance, tells the brewer when the fermentation has stopped. However, a skilled brewer that's brewed its own batch of beer before doesn't need this because the signs of fermentation are very visible. And if you're familiar with the process, then you know when the beer has stopped fermenting. The wand is another item that's included that you don't need. What the wand does, or what the bottle filler does, is it makes it easier to fill the bottles up. But as I'll explain later, there's ways that are equally as clean and equally as efficient. So it's another item that you just don't need laying around your house. Another item that I don't think that you should buy to brew beer is the food grade plastic buckets. I use a better primary fermenter, which is the Glass Carboy. The food grade plastic just doesn't look as good as you want it to in your house. The store owner may charge more, but he knows great advice. The internet also has excellent videos. The people that post their beer brewing exploits on the internet are very talented and are at that kind of amateur professional level. Whereas if you ever wanted to have like a party and kind of like show your beer off, their way of doing it is very exceptional, and there's always room in this hobby to buy a better unit and stuff like that to improve, to make your beer better and more flavorful. I only want you to buy the 2 Glass Carboys and the ingredients. What my method is you add the ingredients and you boil it all up, of course, like you normally boil beer. And then you add the cool water to the carboy, and once it's finished brewing, you mix the wort, which is the boiled ingredients, with the cooler water, and then once they're all in there, you just seal it up with the yeast, and it probably will go for about like 5 days. I like to wait 2-3 days after the violent fermentation has come on, or has actually subsided, to then transfer the contents of the primary fermenter, those contents into the secondary fermenter, leaving behind the trub. And this is really where my method clearly is better than the beginner kits method, because taking away the trub and letting the fermentation finish without the trub definitely yields a more flavorful product. You can definitely tell that the malts and the hops have mixed a lot better without all the trub in it, which kind of makes, I'd say, it makes the flavor like more obscure and like less intense on your palate. I like this method of doing it because the small buy-in encourages the hobby to be taken up by more home brewers. You still need things like sanitizer, and the dishwasher's heat cycle works great to make clean beer bottles, which I usually fill up with a racking cane, but I'm sure if you don't have a racking cane and bottling tubing, you can find a way to just funnel it in, kind of decanting into a pan and then slowly pouring the pan contents into a funnel, and then them into 24-ounce bottles work great at bottling time. It makes your life so much easier if you have 24-ounce bottles rather than 12-ounce bottles. This method is discreet. One purpose of home brewing is so that the package store doesn't talk on your activities. The beer is good enough that every bottle is a party. I do not like having paraphernalia in my room, such as beer buckets, wands, and hydrometers. My method of online ordering the bare minimum also keeps the storefront owner from eyeing you near your car. One caveat I like to give beer brewers before I finish up is a lot of people, especially people that have damaged parents, for example, have a great sensitivity to people that would bring this kind of chemical into the world. And there are definitely people out there that will kind of, snicker at you or try to discredit your name just because you believe in brewing good beer. So let me restate the main points. His way is a delicious way of brewing good homebrew. My way makes the same product. The method is discreet. The package store really varies, so this method may save an expensive trip to the package store.